Alright, so now that you know a little more about Unreal Engine, I'm going to show you the basic of this engine, which is Blueprint, something really important. So Blueprint is basically what's handle every coding aspect of a game, of a project in Unreal Engine, like moving around, jumping. Every of this stuff is basically handled by Blueprints. So Blueprint is a visual language that you can implement that is implemented, sorry, in Unreal Engine. So the most common that you have is Blueprint classes, which is the class of this character right here. If I hover the mouse on here, I can see in the first block third person character, which is the name, and just afterward Blueprint class. So this is the type of blueprint that this character is holding. Right, so I can right click on here and see in blueprints section, blueprint class, blueprint function, blueprint library, blueprint interface. There's even in animation blueprint. Well, you're gonna find a lot of file named blueprint, but the most common that you're going to use is blueprint level blueprint, sorry. So level blueprint is basically where you're going to handle every level based events, like when this character walk inside this particular part of the map, this happen. I'm going to show you a quick example, but just before, I'm going to talk to you about this weird interface that you have in here. So here you have the toolbar. So the toolbar is where you're going to compile and save. This is the most common button that you're going to use all the time. Save and compile. Always save. And class setting, if you want to add some interface to it, I'm going to show you later what you can do with it. And class defaults. So if you want to replicate every movement or every state of this engine inside everybody else, but we're going to cover this real later. Right, so you have My Blueprint tab. So My Blueprint is where you're going to create function, create macros, create variables, and even dispatch. But the most common you're going to use is function, macros, and variables. But first off, I'm going to show you how handle an event using the level. So I'm compiling and save even if there's nothing in here. So I'm going to move my character just a little backward. Alright. So I'm going to place actor in here and look for trigger box. So basically a trigger box is just a collision box where you can see if someone is entering or leaving this little box here. So you can choose the size of it, press space, move the y-axis, the x-axis, the z-axis if you want it taller. Alright, so I have it here. Going back to my level blueprint, just click on here. I'm going to right click and you have add event for trigger box 1, collision on actor begin overlap. So actor begin overlap is when something is beginning to enter in collision with this particular trigger box. So when I enter it, I can do something like print string. Print string is a function, so I've dragged the wire from the exact pin, the white pin in here. So this is the workflow of blueprints. Use this white wire to create a flow of blueprint execution pin, right? So this is a function, print string. I'm going to print in string the text that you want to print. So I'm entering a box, a trigger box. Okay, enter, compile, save. And if I press play, so the box is just in front of me, just ahead. So I'm going to work in it. Up. I'm entering a trigger box. If I enter again, I'm going to see it print a lot of time. Alright. So if you have the begin overlap, you have the end overlap. So you just can click right click on actor end overlap. So you have this event. Oh, I can see it because I didn't select it. So you have to select it back in here and overlap. So you have the add events for collision and overlap. So when I end, so when I get out of this box, I'm going to print string. In string I'm going to put exiting collision sphere. Up, compile and save all the time. If I play, I'm going to see I'm entering a trigger box, exiting collision sphere. So this way you can just play around with this trigger box and do a lot of kind of events in this level using blueprints. So we're going to cover a lot more about blueprint just afterwards, so I'm going to pause this video here and see you on the next one.